Alright, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Fiasco, and welcome back to the channel for another episode of NASCAR Thunder 2004 Career Mode. I hope you guys are excited. Today we got North Carolina Speedway, and then after North Carolina we head over to the West Coast where we will race on Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So I hope you guys are excited for these races. We've got a doubleheader going on today. Maybe after this video I will start doing 3 races per episode. We'll see how this goes. I think 2 might be the sweet spot, so that way it'll take around maybe like 10 or 12 episodes getting through each season, which, you know, I'm pretty content with. I hope you guys are too, and I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. I hope you guys are enjoying the Fiasco Short Track Combine. If there's anything else you want to see on the channel, please let me know. And now let's talk about a little bit about North Carolina. So North Carolina, I was not expecting much coming to this track, but when I started doing the second lap on the qualifying run, I started realizing that our car was not that bad. So we'll start 29th. Let's head over to the pre-race show.
We're in Rockingham, North Carolina, home of the North Carolina Speedway, for today's race, the Subway 400. Drivers say this place can be one difficult track to master.
Well, this track is deceiving to drivers who are new here. It's wide and fast in most places, but in the corners, they'll have to slow up more than they expect. Otherwise, the wall will sneak up and bite them on the exit, especially in turn 2. And here's the starting lineup.
In the front row are the Home Depot Chevrolet and the Dale Jr. Chevrolet.
Right, you guys saw there, Tony Stewart is on pole, and to the outside of him was Dale Jr. in the number 8. How are we going to contend with everybody else in this race? Let's see. This is our first test on a true track that is going to test our racing abilities. It was pretty easy for us to get a decent result at Daytona, but we're going to see how we do at North Carolina Speedway. So let's check this out. Right out of the gates, we are dropped down to 30th place. We're behind Ryan Newman. So we're going to dive deep into turn 3 and try to hold that bottom line. What I noticed here in the beginning of the race is that our car was a lot grippier than I expected it to be. I thought we were going to slide around and everything like that. But apparently, even with this mediocre tire wear and tire grip, we're able to stay on the bottom of the track pretty well. We're able to gain some positions. We passed Steve Park in the 30, and now we are on the inside of Mike Skinner in that 4 car, and we're going to try to dive to the inside of him, but he covers it up on the bottom, playing it a little defensive there on the inside of Steve Park, where we get a good run off of him. And then coming off of turn 4, we have a ton of speed compared to the 4 and the 02 of Hermie Sadler. Are we going to be able to overtake him here? Yes, we are. We dive in a little bit right there, tucking in right behind Michael Waltrip. So we're going to hop over to lap 3. Coming into turn 3, we get overtaken by Ryan Newman in that 12 car, so we tuck in behind Brett Bodine. We had a little bit of teamwork with the 11 car back at Daytona. You see, we had a good ally rating with him, so we're going to dive on the inside of him pretty clean and tuck right behind Ryan Newman. Ryan Newman has a really good AI in this game, so I'm not expecting us to finish ahead of him, but I'm pretty surprised that we're able to contend with him. Going into turn 1, we hit the brakes a little bit too late, and we hit the back of Mikey. That is not going to make many people in this community happy, so I apologize, but we're going to dive on the inside of Joe Nemechek in that 25 and try to keep it clean with Mikey. We don't want him to get mad at us, and I don't want everybody in this community to rip my head off for hitting Mikey in the back like that. So we're going to dive into turn 3 here, try to stay as clean as possible, but while going in hesitantly, the car just didn't want to turn on corner entry. Have no idea what happened there. So we're coming off of turn 4 of lap 7. I think this is around the time where we're getting close to the pit window. So we managed to pass Ryan Newman again. We've been battling with him all race long so far. And we hit Michael Waltrip again. I have no idea what his rating is at. It's a minus 20. I expected it to be a little bit higher than that. I thought he was going to be flat out a rival at this point. But we're looking now. Split 3 wide between the 15 and the 12. Trying to get on the inside of Joe Nemechek at the same time. And then we passed Ward Burton as well. We don't complete the pass, and we're trying not to hit him. We Tokyo drift on the bottom of the track right there just to try to keep it off of him. And we are not going to clear Joe Nemechek either. But we are 15th. But I'm pretty sure this is just because the pit cycles have just begun, so we're going to have to come into pit road either this lap or the next lap. We'll see what we decide to do here, and we stay out. So on the next lap on lap 10, Michael Waltrip passes us coming inside, and I'm like, nah, bro, I'm just going to slide right in front of you here, you know what I'm saying? So we decided to take 4 tires and make no changes to the car because it was running pretty well. I was actually pretty surprised as to how well it was running, so let's see if our pit crew has any issues. It looks like our front tire changer has it together this time. We head over to the left side tires, and it looks like there's no issues at all on our number 64 Ford Taurus. And we're going to head out pretty smoothly. Michael Waltrip passes us, and Junior, what are you doing, bro? Oh my god, did you see that? Dale Jr. just swooping into his pit stall, no regard for there even being a car there, and he just smacks us. It was absolutely ridiculous. Alright, so we can't worry about that too much. We don't even see Dale Jr. that often during the races because he's just so much faster than us. So we're just going to focus on our own battles and see what we can do here. So it's lap 14 out of 19, almost towards the end of this race. We get a nice pass on Mikey here. This car is running really well for the mediocrity of our equipment. So we wound up getting passed by Mikey on the outside again. We tap the outside wall, and look, we're trying to push it 3 wide on the inside of the 15 and the 11. Looks like we're going to try to make a huge dive going into turn 1. Are we going to be able to make it stick? Yes, we are. I have no idea how I did that. I carried so much speed into that corner, so we wound up holding the 15 down low and the 1 on up high. So let's keep it moving forward. Let's see if we can get this top 20 on the inside of the 38. Are we going to be able to make the move again? Yes, we are. We clear Elliott Sadler and Jeremy Mayfield and Kenny Wallace in at 23. Another instance where we passed 3 cars going into turn 1. And now it is the last lap of the race. What are we going to be able to do here? Are we going to be able to fight into that top 20? We are right behind the number 01 of Jerry Nadeau. Jeez, I forgot all about Jerry Nadeau, bro. Alright, so we're on the back stretch. We have half a mile to go. Are we going to be able to make any moves to try to get into this top 20? Coming into turn 4, ladies and gentlemen. Coming out to the tri-oval. We got on the inside of Robbie Gordon. And we passed Jerry Nadeau in the 01. We finished 20th place at North Carolina. So much better than I thought we would. You love to see it. You really love to see it. I was expecting to finish somewhere in the 30s. You see how much money we have in the bank because of that. We're now sitting on $266,000. Let's take a look at the race stats real quick. Dale Jr. wound up getting the win ahead of Tony Stewart, Dale Jarrett, and Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon, Bill Elliott, Ryan Newman, Kurt Busch, and Sterling Marlin and Bobby Labonte rounding out the top 10. So now we're about to head to our next race, which is at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We're going to have to use the equipment that we just used at North Carolina and just see how it works. And I'm telling you guys right now, our car is just not fast at Las Vegas. We just used this equipment at North Carolina, and it's already mediocre to begin with. And surprisingly, from this qualifying session, we wound up qualifying 28th, which is a shocker. Let's go to the pre-race show at Las Vegas.
NASCAR Winston Cup Racing has hit the jackpot this week as we come to Las Vegas Motor Speedway for today's UAW Daimler Chrysler 400. What kind of things should we look for in this one?
The good thing about tracks like this is there's plenty of room out there to avoid accidents. I look for these guys to have a pretty clean run and probably won't see the big one that we talk about at the other tracks.
Michael Waltrip joined D.E.I. at the start of the 2001 season and got a win in his very first race for his new team.
He followed that up with some impressive runs at the restrictor plate tracks. He's always had a knack for drafting, and with top-notch equipment, you'll be sure to see him up near the front.
Now, let's take a look at the starting lineup. Starting out front are the M&M Ford and the Altel Dodge.
So in this race, Elliott Sadler wound up getting the pole position, and right out the outside of him was Ryan Newman, who we spent a lot of North Carolina fighting with. And it's only a 13-lap race here. Remember, we're just keeping these races short so we can get through this first season. You guys can let me know how you feel about these race lengths as we go throughout the season. I will definitely make any adjustments that you guys see fit for Season 2. So coming out of Turn 1 on the very first lap, we wound up making 3 passes, and it looks like it's going to be 4. We're on the inside of Kevin LePage, and now we're on the inside of Joe Nemechek in that 25, and we're also going down low on Greg Biffle in the 16. So many passes made. We go from 28th to 22nd in just the first lap. Actually, we go from 28th to 21st, and looks like we're going to be able to make even more moves as we push it 3 wide, but looks like we carried way too much speed going into turn 1, and I spent this whole corner just chasing the car, trying to make it not spin out and trying to lose as little time as possible. But that was the first instance in our car showing that it is not going to be a good day for us. We had a good first lap, and it looks like that's just going to be about it. We don't have the tire wear. We don't have the tire grip. All the equipment is already used. All of our ratings are in the low 50s. We're just going to have to try to make do with what we've got. So we're on the inside of Robbie Gordon going into turn 1 and lap 3. But look, we're Tokyo drifting. We just have absolutely no grip in this car. We're trying to make it stick on the bottom, but it's just not working. Somehow we managed to hold the speed and we get by Robbie Gordon. We made contact with the 02 of Hermie Sadler. He didn't like us very much for that. And I agree, that was totally uncalled for. I was just losing control of the car on the back straightaway. That's how little grip our car has. But we wound up making the pass on the 02 of Hermie Sadler. So we're going into turn 1 and lap 4. Rusty Wallace is on our inside, and I'm just going to let him go. I know he has a much faster car than me, and I have to let off the gas, but I don't let it off soon enough. Just no grip wherever we go. On corner entry, it's loose. In the middle of the corner, it's starting to get tight. And on corner exit, it just doesn't want to turn anymore. It's an ugly, ugly day for us at Las Vegas, and we're not even halfway through the race. Jeff Green is on our inside, but we managed to beat him to the line by 0.02 of a second. But it looks like it's all going to change here as we go into turn 1. As you guys know, car's loose, can't do anything, just slides way up into the track, and it's just a frustrating race. Even after we almost managed to save the car, on corner exit we get loose again. It's ugly. It doesn't look good. So what I'm going to do is I make a really late call to decide to just pit on this lap, and I make really hard contact with Ricky Rudd in that 21 car. And I decide I want to turn up the wedge because we've been getting loose on corner entry almost every single time, and towards the end of the run we've been getting loose on corner exit as well, so I figured upping the wedge would help us out a little bit. And let's see if our pit crew has any issues on this time around. We didn't have any issues in North Carolina after having a front tire issue at Daytona, and it looks like it's going to be another perfect pit stop for number 64 team. But they wound up holding us in the pit stall like we're in the Formula 1. I have no idea what's going on. It doesn't look like anybody was in our way. It honestly looked like if we went a little earlier, we would have been fine. It looked like a worse pit release when we went later. So we wound up getting a pass on Christian Fittipaldi because of the slow pit stop mixed with being held in our pit stall. We just fell all the way back to the low 30s. We wound up getting passed by Brett Bodine in the 11. All around just a frustrating day for us at Las Vegas, so we're just trying to get whatever positions we can, trying to keep those sponsors happy. Ricky Rudd isn't very happy with us after that little incident we had on pit entry, so we're going to tuck in behind him and try to get some friend points with him. And you see here, I have no idea what I'm doing here. The car's been terrible all day, so I figured I can try to push 3 wide here on Casey Mears and Brett Bodine. And I wound up getting past Casey Mears, but the car doesn't want to turn anymore because it's even tighter than it was before because we upped the wedge on corner exit. And we wound up making contact with Brett Bodine. Obviously, he didn't like that. He dropped way back because of that. And Casey Mears is now on our inside. Now we're just Tokyo drifting on every single corner. I'm just trying to finish this race as soon as possible. You know, saving tires isn't really much of a concern for me because you're just shot already. It's been 3-4 laps already. There's no use in saving the tires. It's not going to happen. Kevin LePage, we try to latch onto his tracks, but it's just not going to work. So we let Brett Bodine go after taking him out pretty much on the previous lap. But this video in a nutshell, we had a pretty solid day on North Carolina. Our confidence was pretty low heading into that race, and we wound up getting a top 20. But in this race, Las Vegas, absolutely ugly used equipment. We wound up finishing 38th. You hate to see it. You love to see it in North Carolina. You hate to see it here. Racing will beat you up, man. It is an up and down affair all the time. But you know what? It'd be like that. You know, you love to see it, you hate to see it. Everything happens in racing, and we're just going to get ready for this next episode. We're sitting pretty on almost $400,000. Kevin Harvick got the win. Second was Newman. Third was Junior. Fourth was Jeff Burton. Fifth place was Tony Stewart. Sixth place, Bobby Labonte. Seventh place, Kurt Busch. Then Sterling Marlin, Mark Martin, and Dale Jarrett rounding out the top 10. So for this time around, we're just going to repair all of the equipment that we just used at North Carolina and Las Vegas, and that's pretty much all the moves that we're going to make this time around. I will give you guys a look at the current standings so you guys can get a kind of an idea of what's happening in this series. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you are excited, if you have been enjoying, then be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, make sure you join the Discord that is down below in the description, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.
Let's go.